lovelies, this is Jana here. Welcome to my channel. So as you can see, I'm going to cook for you today because you guys asked me so much. Can you please go back to cooking? So here I am because you asked and I delivered. So today we're going to start with a very nice recipe, which in my opinion, it's I was going to say that it's better than pizza, but pizza has its place in the world, you know, and who am I to try to take its crown? So it's better sometimes because it's faster and it's more forgiving. So we start this recipe, which is like a pizza of sorts, like a filled pizza, a filled bread, whatever you want to call. But we're going to start by adding warm milk to a bowl. It has to be warm. Now, tip, don't add all of it because sometimes, regardless of the quantities and the recipe, the written recipe, sometimes you are going to need more or less milk because depends on the flour you're using, depends on how warm it is where you we're cooking right now. So leave a little bit and then we add as required, okay? To that we're going to add yeast, some sugar. The sugar is important because it feeds the yeast, okay? So it makes it grow and it makes, yeah, that's what's going to feed your dough and it's going to make it develop. So it is necessary on this recipe. Some olive oil. Combine everything very well. Now we're going to add some salt. And we're going to add some flour, plain all-purpose flour. 3 cups. And now you mix it through. So you see JJ behind me? They love to watch me making food. Sometimes they're here in front of me, all of them eyeballing me, or they're behind. So don't worry, they're not locked outside. My house is quite open so they can jump up and down the wall. That's their thing, they like to explore outside. Now you mix it all. We're looking for a soft dough here, okay? It's not so soft that it's almost liquidy, and it's not so hard that you're going to knead it and it's not going to stick to your hands. It will stick to your hands. That's what we're looking for. I'll show you later the consistency. And I have just broken my spatula, the one that I like the most. Bummer. Oh, it happens. So, dough here is finished. You don't need to knead it, okay? That's not necessary. Don't worry. Now we're just going to cover it and let it proof for about 30 minutes. It should double or triple in size. We're going to cover with our super shower cap. I keep a shower cap on my kitchen because it's easier than using aluminum foil or a plastic wrap because this is, when it's dirty, you just clean it up and then it's ready to use again. And now we're going to set aside. And now we're going to prepare the filling, which is super easy. What I have here is actually what I had left on my fridge because that's how I roll here. I don't like buying stuff so much to make recipes. I try to use whatever I have. And for this recipe, it's very good when you have just a little bit of peppers, just a little bit of onions, and so you can use everything and you don't need to waste because we don't like waste. So all of that in the bowl. And then here I have 2 types of cheese. You can add 2 types of cheese, 1 type of cheese, no cheese at all. I mean, whatever you have. I have a feta cheese, which is a Violife one. I haven't been able yet to reproduce my own feta cheese. I'm working on that. And just some plain grated vegan cheese as well. I have plenty of recipes for that. Check over there and you can get yours. And then all of that in the bowl as well. Some oregano. And this is not necessary, but I think it's highly recommended. A little bit of vegan mayo. It will add a little bit of moist to the dough. I love vegan mayo. If you don't have it, you don't have to add. Very easy so far, isn't it? I always bring to you this kind of recipes because that's the things, the ones that I like the most myself. So that's why I try to do that on the channel. So I think it's fair to say that I try to reproduce the foods that I eat and that I love the most here on the channel. We are also going to set this aside and wait until our dough has doubled in size or tripled in size. Depends on where you live. All right, so our dough here, it has doubled in size, which is good. It's even warm because today here is very warm, by the way. So now we're going to open it and we're going to fill it with our beautiful mixture of cheese and vegetables. And then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of the same mixture on top that I have separated because I like it this way. It gets extra moist and extra more beautiful, and that's what we like, isn't it? So now we're going to open it. Sprinkle some flour, just a little bit. Sprinkle some flour on top of the dough as well. All right, so now you open like that with your fingers. You don't even need a rolling pin or anything. So, if you see when you're stretching your dough that it springs back, it's because the gluten hasn't developed completely. So you give it 10 more minutes, cover it with a tea towel, and then you let it rest for 10 more minutes, and then you're gonna be able to stretch it. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to make a ball of sorts with our vegetables. We put it in the middle, like that. Tie it together. It's important that you tie it together, okay? All right, and now we are going to fold. We're going to form another ball. Tie the ends so it doesn't open. Tie them very well. And now you just press it gently. Now we're going to move it to our baking sheet. And now we're going to make a mixture of ketchup, mayonnaise, and a little bit of water. Because what we need now here, we need a golden top. And what we need for that is actually sugar and fat. And the best way to attain that, in my opinion, is by mixing ketchup, because it has a lot of sugar, and also a little bit of color, right? A lot of color. And the mayonnaise, because the mayonnaise, it has all the fat that we need. Don't need to be perfect. One of the beautiful things about this dish here is that we're aiming for that perfect imperfection, you know. And here's what we're gonna do now. We're going to sprinkle the top with the cheese vegetable mixture that we have separated. All right, so now we're going to pop this beauty here in the oven for about 25-30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. That will be about 265 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you think that the top is getting way too brown too soon, you add a sheet of aluminum foil, and then you remove it in the last 5 minutes. This way you're going to protect the top, which is a little bit delicate. But other than that, super easy. Let's do it. See you next. Check this out. Look at this beauty. Isn't it just so beautiful? and I promise you it's so delicious. And did you see how easy it is to put it together? And it's really impressive. So what's not to like? I keep saying that all the time, what's not, but because it's true, what's not to like? Oh, by the way, you guys keep asking me where I get my mittens. It's on my Amazon shop. I'm gonna leave the link in the comments, both in the comments and in the description box below the video, under the video, as well as almost everything I use on the channel. So if you like something, head over my Amazon shop and look at that. Do you guys think that I'm gonna have fun tonight having this with a glass of Chardonnay? You are absolutely right, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So if you make it, you know what to do, don't you? You're going to tag me on Instagram and Facebook. If you feel like you can become a member of this channel, you just click on the join, and then you're gonna have access to exclusive perks and contents, which is going to be posted on the community tab on this on my channel here. And apart from that, I want you guys to have a fabulous week. I will see you next Saturday with another delicious, comfort, vegan, amazing food. And now I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna have to enjoy this beauty here. Bye bye, see you next time. Yummy.